Welcome to the Best Celebrity channel. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content from us. Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Celeb Fame Time. Here are 10 of the biggest surprises from the Friends reunion. Number 10, none of them have watched the show in years. Despite the show being in heavy syndication ever since it ended, with streaming platforms going to war for the syndication rights and all of the cast still making millions every year from it, it's a shock they haven't watched the show in years. Some even claim they haven't watched a single episode in the 17 years since it ended. However, Matt LeBlanc, everyone's new favorite Irish uncle and the one friend who still seems massively enthusiastic about the show, apparently watches it all the time.
Oh my god, what did I ever do to you?
Number 9, David Schwimmer doesn't remember the one with the ball. One of the most memorable episodes in the entire series is the one with the ball, which sees the gang throw a ball back and forth between each other for as long as they can without dropping it. It's such a beloved installment, but somehow David Schwimmer doesn't actually remember filming it. When the actors reminisce over the episode in the reunion, Schwimmer's confused and doesn't know what they're talking about. But after being filmed well over 200 episodes and claiming that he hasn't watched the show since it aired over 17 years ago, it's no surprise he doesn't recall it.
But I'm also really emotional because...
Number 8, Schwimmer hated the monkey. Though there wasn't much of a Q&A in the reunion, one audience member did ask if there was any part of the show that the cast didn't enjoy, and Schwimmer was quick to jump on it. The actor hated the fact that the whole comedic timing of scenes would be entirely dependent on whether the monkey hits its mark or not. However, not all of the cast members shared Schwimmer's sentiments, and though it's hardly surprising that it isn't much fun working with a monkey, Jennifer Aniston claimed that she actually loved doing so in a few scenes.
This kept happening over and over where we're about to do something really funny, but the monkey...
Number 7, Schwimmer and Aniston had an off-screen romance. The biggest romance in Friends wasn't Monica and Chandler, and it wasn't Phoebe and Mike, who was strangely absent from the reunion, but it was undoubtedly Ross and Rachel. The reunion plays on this, as there's a table read of the scene where they had their first kiss, which had fans in tears, but really threw fans off was the reveal that Aniston and Schwimmer actually had an off-screen romance in the earlier seasons. And though they claim that they never acted on any feelings, Matt LeBlanc screams, "Bull." Number 6, Jennifer Aniston was already in a different show. The producers spoke about how the role of Rachel was actually the hardest part to cast, but nobody was better for the role and nobody wanted it more than Jennifer Aniston. In 1994, she starred in another sitcom called Muddling Through before Friends, but she wasn't able to star in both shows and asked to leave the former.
Yes, definitely people fight each other that way.
Number 5, Matthew Perry was in another show too. Along with Aniston, Matthew Perry was also conflicted when it came to his future on TV. He had already impressed casting agents, as he was hired in the lead actor in another sitcom, and it was a fascinating and unique concept. Perry starred in a TV pilot called LAX 2194, playing a baggage handler who caters to aliens. The pilot remained unaired, and it was unsurprisingly not picked up by a network for a season, but Perry almost missed out on playing Chandler because of it.
None of them remember that happened. So there's a lot of things that they don't remember, but...
Number 4, Matt LeBlanc only had $9 to his name when he was cast. With many members of the cast having prior engagements, whether it was Aniston pleading to leaving the current sitcom she was on to star the hit show, or Courtney Cox starring in Misfits of Science, they didn't have to worry about bills. Even though the shows weren't successful, most of the actors weren't necessarily struggling, except for Matt LeBlanc. He apparently had just $9 when he was cast as the lovable Joey, and that's probably why he was so much happier to be there than the rest of the cast, because it was his life that the show changed the most. Number 3, Monica and Chandler weren't going to end up together. The only reason why Monica and Chandler ended up together was due to the ridiculous amount of love they received from the live studio audience when Monica appeared out of the bed in London. The fans were screaming for minutes while the two actors had to keep straight faces. It was originally planned to be something for the writers to play around with, which was clear from their secret relationship following the London trip. But it ended up blossoming into something much more, and that's thanks to fans. Number 2, LeBlanc's arm got pulled out of his sockets. In one of the moments when the gang are running around in Monica's apartment, Joey jumps onto the chair, but in one of the takes, his arm got pulled out of the socket. The outtake is shown and LeBlanc can be seen clearly in pain. He runs into Monica's apartment holding his arm, and the paramedics even had to be called in. On top of that, it was the reason why his arm was in a sling in the following episode, but it was played off as if Joey fell off the bed when he was bouncing on it. Number 1, they all believe Ross and Rachel were on a break. Out of all the celebrity guest appearances and cameos from smaller characters, it's still age-old arguments that steal the show. One of the biggest debates in sitcom history that has been going on for decades at this point is whether or not Ross and Rachel were on a break when Ross slept with another woman. Surprisingly enough, it isn't just David Schwimmer who thinks they were on a break.
I still have your letter!
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.